It's Shelley, DYL Fashions. I'm your stylist here. It's Thursday. Guess what? It's style tip time. How's everybody? Well, here's the good news. It's finally gotten warmer outside. That's exciting. So on Saturday, Angelique, it was her second day, and welcome Angelique. We had a little situation where she actually had a dart up the back of her blazer that was stitched down. So some of you might have actually seen, we just kind of did a quick little live video on Saturday. But since that video, there's been many questions, and there's probably some of you that missed that. So I'm actually going to do that as my style tip today. I did do a posting at 11 o'clock this morning, and I said, why does it come from the factory that way? So there's many items that come stitched. So I'm going to just kind of briefly explain. There's things like pockets on blazers, pockets on jackets, coats. There are darts, a slit up the back of a coat, or a pleat on a skirt. Sometimes even dresses come with these pleats all across the bottom, and slits, and that sort of situation. So why does it come from the factory that way? So before it leaves the factory, what they actually do, so I'm going to give you examples today. So because this, I can guarantee you, has happened to all you ladies, and you either know this or you don't. So here's a blazer. So there is a slit pocket on this blazer, and I can guarantee you probably when this blazer came from the factory, this was stitched shut, okay? This jacket, it also, on the back of it, has also a slit up the back of that, and I can guarantee you, so I'm going to bring that a little closer. So that's cut open already, but it usually has this stitch at the back that looks like a crisscross across that dart, okay? And then the pockets will be stitched shut. However, what I'm going to say about pockets is sometimes you think it's a pocket and it's really not a pocket. It's actually just decorative. So you need to make sure that that pocket truly is a pocket. If it's just a pocket that's stitched shut, you should be able to stick your baby little fingers down the sides, the outside of that pocket, and be able to tell that that is truly a pocket inside. So every girl should have this at home, but a very sharp pair of scissors or a seam ripper. So what you're going to do then is, if that pocket is stitched down, you're going to just catch that thread on the one side and quickly just pull that. You might have to pull it a couple times. It's just a basting stitch, and a basting stitch is a larger stitch. So it's meant to be unstitched, okay? So you just need to be careful when you do it not to poke into that fabric and make a hole. But why does it come that way? It comes that way because when it leaves the factory and it arrives at the store and we put it on a hanger, it looks nicer. That pocket lays flat, that dart lays flat, that pleat lays flat. So that's why it's stitched down. It's actually to make the product and that item of clothing look nicer on a hanger. So once that comes home, though, it's meant to be unstitched. So, and I see this a lot. I can be out and about, and a lot of times a girl will have like a winter coat that has that slit up the back of the coat, and then it has that crisscross stitch across the bottom of that dart at the bottom there. Not dart, but slit. So it is stitched down again to make it look nice, and it is meant to be clipped open so that vent opens then and that coat freely moves. If you don't open that, that coat's actually not fitting properly. So that's why it comes from the factory that way, is to actually make it look nicer on the hanger. So you're more likely to buy it because it looks so fabulous on the hanger, but it is meant to be unstitched when you get home. So I've got a couple other examples here for you. So quite often from the factory. So this is actually more of a pleat, and it's like a vent, okay? So quite often this could also come stitched right here at the bottom. So it could have that crisscross stitch. I've even seen it as much as a basting stitch that runs down that open pleat there. So they're actually stitching that all down so it actually lays flat and it actually looks, so if it's stitched down, you can see how nice that lays flat. But it's actually meant to be unstitched, and then that vent is meant to be open and for it to be free on there. So no pocket on the front of this, but so that's an example. You're going to see this on the back of slits of dresses, on the backs of slits of skirts, dresses. Here's the other thing that you're going to see as well. So I was trying to find you a better example. So sometimes we have these items that are pleated. I see this a lot if you see like a pleated skirt and the entire skirt is pleated. They're actually going to stitch it down here at the bottom. So you're going to see this crisscross, that's really hard to say, crisscross stitch at the bottom of all those pleats. And again, that pleated dress or that pleated skirt, again, it's meant to be stitched down so it looks nice on the hanger. But then when you get home, you're meant to just clip those threads and for it to come loose, okay? It is, however, a little bit more difficult on the pockets. Sometimes it can be stitched quite well. And you'll see this on winter coats, you'll see this on blazers, you'll see this on jackets. And again, it's just meant to be laying flat and look nice from the factory. So that's why it's so important to have like a sharp scissor, a seam ripper, and just, you know, take that thread, and you just need to be patient with it, okay? So if you're seeing that kind of thing, or if you even own something like that and you're just unsure, why don't you pop down here and see me and I'll let you know what if that actually needs to become unstitched. Some people just aren't sure. But a lot of you ladies, I know I see that. A lot of the pre-loved beautiful items that come through the door, I actually am the pricer here, so I actually try to clip that apart for ladies and to open the pockets for ladies. So when you buy that item, you're not having to deal with that. But if you're ever wondering, hey, why? That's why. So I hope that helps. If you have any more questions, maybe why something else comes from the factory a certain way, throw it my way. I'm happy to answer that question for you. So again, thanks for staying tuned on a Thursday for my style tip, and I love you all you ladies. I'll see you next week.